Over 500 million people around the world are living with diabetes right now, and nearly half of them don't even know it yet. It's the kind of quiet thing that can slip into your life without you noticing until it starts causing real trouble. And that's exactly why this matters so much, especially if you're in your 50s. Because the little choices you make now, they'll shape how healthy and strong you'll feel in your 70s and 80s. So here are some lessons that come from real life and not some textbook. Let's dive in. What is diabetes? Basically, when your pancreas begins to lose its ability to produce enough amounts of insulin for your body, or when your body isn't reacting as it should to insulin production, then your glucose levels can't be controlled. This condition of high levels of blood sugar is known as diabetes. The main problem is that when this condition persists for a long duration, it can cause all kinds of issues, like nerve damage, heart complications, and can even lead to vision impairment. But don't worry, because the good thing is that it's manageable. With certain lifestyle changes and medications, you can keep all these problems under control. Now, here's what you should know about diabetes. Anyone can get it, no matter their age. And it's not just one thing, there are actually two main types, type 1 and type 2. Type 2 diabetes is the most common one and mainly affects adults. It's when your body can't make enough insulin, or your body has insulin resistance. Hence, the body can't manage its blood sugar, leading to spikes. Then there's type 1 diabetes, which is actually an autoimmune disease. In this, your body's own immune system targets your insulin-producing cells in your pancreas. And only about 1 in 10 people with diabetes has type 1. Most folks think it's just something kids or teenagers get, but the truth is, it can also show up at any age. So what can you do about it? Let's get into it. Get tested. Getting tested is the first step you need to take. You might think that you can just start medication once symptoms show up, but here's why that's not actually a smart approach. Type 2 and pre-diabetes don't really have any obvious symptoms, so you need to get a blood screening to check your blood sugar. And getting a blood screening isn't complicated. All you gotta do is visit your doctor's office and get your blood drawn. And the American Diabetes Association says that you're supposed to get screened for diabetes every 3 years once you turn 45. Especially if you're overweight or you got a history of high blood pressure or high cholesterol. It's not exactly a thrilling routine, but honestly, it's worth keeping tabs on your health. Better safe than sorry. Also, if you catch it in time, you can avoid a lot of complications that come with type 2 diabetes. Now, type 1 is different though. It's much more severe than type 2, especially when it comes to its symptoms. If your doctor suspects type 1 diabetes, they'll probably order a blood test to look for autoantibodies. These are markers showing your immune system is unfortunately attacking your own body, something that happens in type 1, not type 2. There's a good chance they'll ask for a urine sample as well just to check for ketones. When your body starts burning fat for energy instead of using sugar, ketones show up, and that's usually a sign of type 1, not type 2. But there are some basic symptoms in general that many confuse with effects of old age, such as increased thirst, fatigue, blurred vision, and increased urination that indicate pre-diabetes. So first things first, visit your doctor. Your diet matters. We've all been told many times how much our diet matters, but taking this bit seriously is what's crucial. With diabetes, knowing what you're eating is important to administer medication and to strike a healthy balance. And by know what you eat, I don't mean what cuisine, but rather the amount of carbs and sugar you're ingesting. Carb counting isn't just some diet fad, it's actually pretty useful if you're trying to keep an eye on your blood sugar. Here's what's going on. Carbs tend to be the main thing that makes your blood sugar jump. Your body breaks them down into sugar and that pushes your levels up. But that doesn't mean you have to swear off all carbs. Stuff like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, well, those are still solid choices. They've got fiber and nutrients that can help keep everything more balanced. On the other hand, the more processed stuff, think white bread, white rice, sugary cereals, cakes, cookies, candies, and chips, well, they aren't doing any favors. Cutting back on those can really help keep your blood sugar in check. Also, while dealing with diabetes, you need to medicate with insulin, so to get the right dosage, you need to keep count. Another method that might be easier to have control over your food intake is to adopt the plate method. To break down the plate method, it's basically a straightforward way to plan your meals without getting tangled up in carb counting charts or anything complicated. Here's how it works. Grab a regular 9-inch plate, not too big, not too small. Fill up half your plate with non-starchy veggies, so things like lettuce, cucumbers, broccoli, tomatoes, or green beans. No need to get fancy, just a good mix of vegetables. Now look at the other half of your plate and split it into 2 equal sections or quarters. In one quarter, put some lean protein. Fish, beans, eggs, chicken, or other lean meats all work here. The last quarter is for healthy carbs, like fruit or whole grains. As for portions, it helps to compare them to everyday objects. A serving of meat or poultry, well, that's about the size of a deck of cards. Cheese, roughly the size of 6 grapes. Cooked pasta or rice, about the size of your fist. If you really want to be precise, you can use measuring cups or a kitchen scale. Honestly though, most of the time, those simple visual cues like a handful work just fine. Don't forget exercise. Okay, here's the deal. If you got diabetes, staying active really does make a difference. When you get up and move around, your muscles actually use some of that blood sugar for fuel. And if you make exercise part of your routine, your body gets a bit better at handling insulin too. So even just a daily walk or some gardening can make a big difference. It doesn't have to be anything extreme, just keep your body moving. Your body's gonna appreciate it, trust me. And in addition to that, it turns out there's research showing that when older adults with diabetes make exercise a regular thing, their bodies start producing substances that actually help repair blood vessels and nerves. That could mean a lower risk of heart disease and dementia, both of which are, unfortunately, pretty common issues for people with diabetes. On top of that, another study found that moderate to higher intensity workouts, not anything extreme, just enough to break a sweat, can help folks with type 2 diabetes manage their blood sugar better. You just gotta find what works for you and stick with it. Because if you dread it, you're just not gonna keep at it, plain and simple. So let's talk over a few options that make sense and won't leave you feeling like you signed up for boot camp. Walking is probably the easiest place to start. You can do it just about anywhere, around the neighborhood, at a local park, even up and down the aisles at your grocery store. It's good for your heart, gets your blood moving, and gives you a chance to catch up with a friend or just clear your head. Another good one is dancing. Not saying start dancing hip-hop, just put on some music you like and move however feels comfortable. Dancing is good for your balance, flexibility, and believe it or not, it gives your mind a little workout too. If standing isn't easy, there's always chair dancing. Still fun and still effective. Another way you could get moving is with yoga. It's honestly a pretty decent way to get yourself moving. It might seem a little unusual at first, but really, it just comes down to stretching, breathing, and moving however feels right for you. It's good for your strength, balance, and even helps with stress. And the best part, you can make it as easy or as challenging as you want, so it'll work no matter where you're starting from. And let's not ignore weight training. Now, I'm not saying you need to lift anything so heavy it sends you straight to the chiropractor. Even light hand weights, resistance bands, or just your own body weight will do the trick. Keeping your muscles in decent shape gets even more important as you get older. It helps keep your blood sugar in check and lets you stay independent. Honestly, the main thing is just picking something you actually don't mind doing. So just choose what fits you best and keep at it. That's what counts. Stress. It might sound out of the blue, but stress is actually something that can really mess with your blood sugar. Managing stress is a pretty big deal if you got diabetes. When you're stressed out for a while, your body releases hormones that can bump up your blood sugar. It really just makes everything a bit more complicated. So what do? Well, start off simple. Take control. Track what spikes your stress levels, so essentially see what triggers you. Once you've realized what causes you to tense up, explore how you can cope with it in a healthier manner. And honestly, steering clear of situations and even persons that cause you anxiety or tension is also a good way to keep yourself steady. Moreover, getting help from others can also bring you comfort and stabilize your hormones. And that help can come from those you consider close or even professionals who can help you deal with it in a more grounded manner. Just keep in mind that you need to be your priority. So there you have it. If you're in your 50s, these small changes could shape how healthy and strong you feel in your 70s and beyond. So what step are you going to take first? A better diet, a walk after dinner, or finally booking that screening? Let us know your thoughts or questions in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.